This is the Braamfontein Spruit, the Spring of Brambles. It's actually the Braamfontein Spruit Trail and Park, and it might be one of the longest parks in the world. Longest, not biggest, longest. This river is not actually the Braamfontein Spruit. I'm just going to say the Spring of Brambles because I'm very English, so I know that I pronounce Braamfontein Spruit very badly. This is the West Dean stream, and it starts about 4 kilometers behind me at the West Dean Dam. But it is going to join the Spring of Brambles further down, and I'll show you exactly where that happens. It used to be possible to go under the roads, almost all of the roads. This is one of the few left where it's actually possible to do so, because the trail has been somewhat neglected, unfortunately. Here is the meeting point of the West Dean stream and the Braamfontein Spruit, the Spring of Brambles. That's the one to the left. And it originates about 6.5 kilometers that way. The river starts in Berea, which is near the center of Johannesburg, and it's underneath the grounds of Bonato High School, a school which is named after Barney Bonato. Let's see if I can remember my history. He was an entrepreneur in the gold and diamond mining industry. In 1897, he built a huge mansion in Berea at the source of the Spring of Brambles, and he had a dam there. It was a half moon shaped dam, and the river bubbled up from under the ground, and it was the source of his dam. He never lived in the mansion. He built it in, what did I say, 1897, but he died shortly after that, and he died at sea. But if you research it, it's not certain exactly how he died. He was either pushed off the side of a boat, or fell off, or jumped off. So that's where the river starts, and it flows from there. I don't know how many kilometers, but from my starting point, it's about 17 kilometers to the suburb of Rivonia, and actually Paulshof. I might go that far today. I've now reached Delta Park, which is one of the more pleasant areas of the trail. A lot of people come here on the weekends and walk their dogs and push their prams and run and ride their bikes, of course. This part of the trail is nice. The end part in Rivonia is nice, but the middle's a bit of a problem, and I'm going to show you that later. All right, let's see. So, where did I start? That's where I was, and I'm now somewhere around here and I'm going to tell you a story about Craig Hall in a moment. And Rivonia, that's where I'm going to be turning around later. It's probably going to get stormy and it's probably going to get dark, but I'm here, so I've got to do it. This is a bridge which goes across to kind of like a parking area on the other side. It's called the Blue Bridge. I'm not an expert, but that's probably because it's blue. But look at this, it's been closed off. Of course, everyone is still climbing through the hole. So it looks like it's going to collapse. If it does collapse, it's likely that it'll never be rebuilt. So behind me on the other side of the river is the Delta Cafe. It's a dog-friendly restaurant. So everyone sits in there and they sit with their dogs, and then they let their dogs drink some water or whatever it is that dogs do, and then they continue with their walk or their ride or their pram pushing. Okay, I'm going to go down to the waterfall. Okay, more history. In 1891, somebody by the name of William Rattray, was it William? I think it was William Rattray, I think that was his surname. He bought a farm around here called Braamfontein, and he renamed it Craig Hall. And he built a dam on the river, and it was a really popular place for leisure activities. I guess it was for picnics and even for boating. But in the 1930s, I think it was, the dam got full of silt, and so it kind of disappeared, but the dam wall still remains. And I'm going to go and show that to you now. It's just around the corner. So here it is. You can see the old stone construction. This wall is 50 meters long, and this whole area was the dam. Not anymore. Now let's go and see the waterfall. So here we are. It's the original dam wall from so long ago, and I do like being able to see it. This stuff's really interesting to me. What's my channel about again? Like exercise and stuff, right? Okay, let's talk about that. Okay, I'm not actually finished with my history lesson. In the 1930s, residents around the Braamfontein Spruit decided to do a major cleanup job. And I'm going to talk more about this when I edit the video. On a Saturday in 1974, there was a major cleanup operation of the Spring of Brambles. Here's what a journalist, James Clark, wrote about the day. One Saturday morning in spring, 400 people came to the stream just off the Rustenburg Road in Parkhurst, and the 32-kilometer cleanup began there. The Boy Scouts built a bridge across the stream which saved hours of work for those wheeling rubbish to the hoppers that Waste Tech provided. Coca-Cola sent a truckload of free drinks for the people who worked throughout the day. The mayor turned up in formal attire but spent the day hauling car hulks out of the stream. We must have cleared 10 hectares. Johannesburg municipality mowed the grass for the first time ever. Some people removed the matted wattles and some of the gum trees, and to our amazement it exposed a beautiful granite outcrop through which the stream tumbled. Near sunset, a local butcher arrived with a bakkie full of meat, and as darkness took over, I saw a dozen braai fires going. According to the journalist who wrote that, James Clark, The Braamfontein Spruit became the longest municipal park in the world. Whether that was ever true, or if it's still true today, I don't know. They say about 32 kilometers, but that's including the little tributaries. The thing I love about mountain biking for exercise is that it always ends up being interval training. Interval training, as you can imagine, consists of difficult sections and easy sections, intense phases and not so intense phases. It's a good way to get past a fitness plateau. So let's say you're just starting out in exercise and you exercise frequently and you get fitter and fitter. You'll get results really quickly. But the fitter you get, the slower the results come. It's a case of diminishing returns, unfortunately. If that wasn't the case, then a person could keep getting fitter indefinitely until they become some kind of a superhero. So if you reach that point where you feel you're not getting fitter, a good way to get past that is with interval training. And let me carry on talking about that in a moment, because there's something interesting here. Over here is another wall constructed by William Rattray on his farm, Craig Hall. This is a beautiful section of the river. And I imagine in the decades past, people really enjoyed this. Of course, now it's a little bit neglected and it's full of litter. Let's go and check out the wall. Look at this. The original stonework from the 1800s. Someone has to go and write something pretty meaningless on it. And it's really good to come here and see this. Okay, look what I found here. So I'm quite simply going to ride up this side and let's see, how many meters across is this? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm quite simply going to land on this side. Nothing can possibly go wrong. I definitely won't crash into this and die. Definitely not. Right, so interval training can help you get past your fitness plateau. You choose a time, say 30 seconds, during which you push yourself hard, harder than usual, and then you choose a resting time before you do it again. And the way I like to do it is to decrease the resting times, because of course any good exercise strategy involves progression, progressive overload. And then eventually, in theory, you will find that your rest has disappeared completely and you'll be able to maintain your very intense level. And then what have you done? You have increased your fitness. You've got over your fitness plateau. Of course, it's more complicated than that. It really depends on your initial fitness and, unfortunately, your age. This is the only section along the, what's it called? The Spring of Brambles Park, where the river deviates away from the trail. The river weaves very closely through a residential area over there, so it's not possible to follow it. There are a lot of people who try to keep this trail maintained, but they just can't keep up with the vandalism and with the damage from floods. It used to be possible to ride across here, but, well, I guess there probably are some people who still can, but I'm not one of them. I've crossed William Nicol Road, or as it's now called, Winnie Mandela. And this is the section where, unfortunately, the trail becomes a little bit unpleasant. Thank you. There is an informal settlement here which has been growing over the years, which is very sad, obviously, because it's made the trail not a very desirable place to be. Look at all the litter. But it's also sad that there are so many people who don't have anywhere else to go. I'm sorry, thank you. Thank you. They are very friendly. Here's the settlement. I'm going to get through here quickly. Sorry, thank you. Thank you so much. It's getting a little bit overgrown here. In some parts, I've not been able to actually see the trail. Hi. I've done just about 12 kilometers. Only about 5 to go, if I even make it that far. So yes, as I was saying ages ago, before I got distracted by other things, mountain biking often ends up being interval training because there are, well, easy sections and hard sections. And so it's an excellent exercise. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Something I love about this trail, everyone is so friendly. And of course, this is the easy part. It's one long hill. I still have to turn around and ride upstream. That's going to be the challenge. Oh, and I nearly had an accident. Whoa, sand, sand. My bike just slides around uncontrollably in sand. If you happen to be in Australia or maybe Europe, maybe one day, if this channel gets popular, have a look what an African urban river looks like. If you look very carefully, you can spot some litter. Have a close look. That's pretty scary, but the other scary thing is, look at the evidence of the flooding. It's extreme. This is Belgrave Road. It's a low bridge which gets completely flooded when it rains hard. Years ago I came here with my mom just to watch the flooding, and the whole road was submerged. It was impossible to drive over it. And we weren't alone. It was like a family day out. There were so many people standing there watching the flood. Look where I am. The hustle and bustle, as they say, of Rivonia. If I wasn't so sweaty, maybe I could find a nice restaurant. But I'm not finished yet. I'm going to go back to the trail and I'm going to see if I can go a little bit further to the actual end. This is a really beautiful part of the river. You've just got to not take the litter into account. Yeah, it really is nice. And I'm nearly at my turnaround point. I'm heading for the confluence, is that what it's called, where rivers join, of the spring of brambles and the Spruit, I guess the spring of sand. That river is impossible to follow. There are houses very close to the banks on either side, and it's very much fenced off. My adventure today has been an excellent workout. Oh wow, where's the pass? I'm about 17 kilometers from where I parked my car, where I started this message. I've been moving for 1 hour and 10 minutes, so it's been a very good workout. But I've just seen something a little bit concerning. Now, I'm no expert, but I think that's not meant to be doing that. It's going to make getting back to my car somewhat difficult, but I'm going to persevere. I have to get to the point where the rivers meet. I made it to my destination. This is the let's see what this is called. Oh, Paulshof Spruit. Paulshof Spring. So it's actually the Spruit, spring of sand, I guess, on this side. And the Braamfontein Spruit, which I've been following for 17 kilometers on this side. And this is where they meet. and it is now impossible to continue following the river because it goes into Leeuwkop prison. So that's the end of the line. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm just going to have a drink of water. No, I'm not. I think I would get every single known disease and then die. Thanks so much. When you move, move smart.